This is your home for the Trojans. Girard Sports Live.
Snap and leans forward, and that's touchdown number 4 for Scott Moore.
Girard Sports Live is presented by Crawcan, your community technology partner. Learn more at ckt.net.
Hooks, throw over to Adolph, quickly down inside, wrap around Boatman, found herself in the right place, foul, and the bucket!
He'll try a 3 and hits. Adolph with it up top, being guarded by Gass. Girard down the lane, off the glass, and good. Nice instinct by Adolph to just take it to the bucket.
Fielded on the short hop, fires this one across. Able to throw the runner out by a step and a half.
Pitch to the outside to Ashbacher. Gets a good block on the outside, and he's in for the touchdown.
It's time for the Trojans. On your home for Girard High School Athletics. Girard Sports Live. Girard Sports Live.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Girard Sports Live here in Galena as the Trojans get set to take on the Bulldogs for the heart of the season. I'm Drake Miller here, joined by Caleb Humble, and tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Crawcan, your community technology partner. Don't get bit by slow speeds and high prices. Get Gigabit, the fastest internet in Southeast Kansas, with Crawcan. To learn more, go to ruralfiber.org or see everything Crawcan has to offer at ckt.net. And as we roll into the pregame show is brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust, serving the area for over 30 years. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Caleb, girls game up first tonight. We saw an interesting development with the ladies team, with Erica Boatman going out early in last week's contest against Colgan, and tonight she's walking out there looking at least a little bit better than she was previously. Do you have any insight onto that?
I mean, just talking to Erica, I believe it shouldn't be too bad of an injury, but sitting out for at least the start of this week, just kind of keeping it easy, trying not to make things any worse, but a good sight to see that she's walking on her own without any crutches, knowing that she did leave that Colgan game on those crutches, but she should be all right. I don't know a day that she might come back or if she has been practicing, but at least a better sight than her being on those crutches.
Yeah, for sure, and with that lack of rebounding power in Boatman, Colgan ended up taking the victory, with that being kind of the overarching, dictator on that game, being that Colgan was getting third and fourth chances underneath the bucket, and Girard was only getting probably one, maybe two shots at most on the offensive side, and just could not limit possessions from Colgan, and that was just a tough game to watch against a tough opponent, though. And this has been a very tough stretch for the Trojan girls as well as the boys team, playing some really solid teams that are not only in the CNC but also at the Burlington tournament, playing against Ottawa, Silver Lake, Labette County, all sorts of teams that have had success this season, and now taking on Galena tonight, looking to bounce back a little bit from that rough patch, as they've got some of those, I won't say easier opponents, but definitely record-wise, not as successful opponents this season.
And I mean, just talking to some of the girls and just knowing how this team is, they are definitely hungry just to get a win under their belt, really. Since break, they've had, I can't remember if it's necessarily a losing record, but they've lost a lot more games than they would have liked to. have lost, I mean, just going through that tough tournament and then going through some of those tougher CNC opponents. And so something big for the girls is just seeing if they can get this win against this, you don't want to say worse Galena team, but this team that has maybe a worse record than some of those last couple of teams that we've played. And so the big thing is just getting some of that confidence back and getting a win under your belt after facing all of those just crucial games where those opponents, they were a lot tougher and a lot like what you're going to see at state. So definitely an important stretch of games for this girls team, but a tough one at that.
I will say, breaking down this game, though, not to put a bunch of pressure on both of these teams, the boys and the girls, to kind of grab the win tonight. The Galena boys team, pretty solid squad themselves, but for this Girard team, there is a lot of pressure on this contest. It almost feels as if it's a must-win, running off of some of those games that you've had previously against opponents that have been a little more dominant this season. You're going up against a Galena team that hasn't had the record that of the teams that you've played before, but you can't let this one slip, and there's a little bit of pressure with that, but also in the same capacity, it's very much just playing your game. I think for Girard tonight, as much as I want to say this feels like a must-win, it feels like you got to get back to normal. Whether or not you take down the victory tonight, I don't think is the essential piece to the puzzle. I think it's mostly getting back to that normal feel of basketball that you had going into break, that you even had against Baxter Springs coming right out of break, and feeling that mojo coming back for both of these teams as you enter kind of the back third of the season almost. You know, we're in February now. It's really just time to buckle down and get the job done. But I think for this team, it's important just to kind of leave that pressure off a little bit and say, let's play our game, make sure we're putting up buckets, and if the baskets fall on the other side and we end up not taking the victory, that's okay as long as we got our job done on the offensive side.
And in these past couple of weeks, the girls have gone 2-3, and so that's just the thing that's not like this girls team of just to be losing more games than they're winning. And so just the big thing, like you're saying, is getting back to normal basketball for this Girard team, of being this team that for these past couple of years that teams have associated with being one of the better teams in the CNC league. And so currently the girls sit 8-5, and so the big thing is just to bounce back to that and really start stacking up games and just seeing if you can hit double-digit wins by the end of this week.
Yeah, and, well, for the Galena team as well, you have to think about how hungry they are just in that kind of scope. You're a 4-8 team, 4-8-1 so far on the season, and you're facing off against a Girard team that's slipping. The head coach for this squad right now looks to be Zach Shockey. He's probably telling all of his players, this team has been on a bit of a slide. If we're going to beat this team, this would be the time to do it. Find them at their weakest point and capitalize on it. So that I would expect, if you're Girard, this Galena team is going to come out swinging pretty hard, and you've got to be ready for that.
And if you are Girard, I mean, you've already played Galena once this year with the Girard team taking the win 64-28. And so you've beat this team by a good amount already this year, so why can't you do it again? And so, yes, Girard has been a little bit of a slump, but they've been playing those tough opponents. And so it's important just to get back to how you had been.
Well, we'll step aside for the national anthem, and we'll be right back after this. And we're back on for last couple of thoughts as we announce the starters. Caleb, why don't you go ahead and present the starters for Girard?
Now, starting with these starters for Girard, we will start it off with number 10, a junior, Marley Sisney. Number 12, a junior, Kennedy Keller. Number 14, a senior, Maddie Kester. Number 22, a junior, Carson Orand. And number 24, a junior, Augie Mooneyham.
Yeah, so the only change from the typical starting lineup for this Girard squad is Mooneyham stepping in for Boatman. So that was kind of what we saw previously as well. Mooneyham kind of stepping into that designated 6 role. For Galena, as we look across the way, you've got number 2, a freshman, Madison Boyes. Number 12, a senior, Morgan Strong. Number 14, a junior, Michaela Matthews. Number 21, a junior, Riley Meyer. And it looks like number 15, a sophomore, Mackenzie New. So as somebody who called in the CNC last season, seeing a freshman in that starting lineup is certainly going to be the kind of highlight there, as you don't see that a lot of times in basketball.
No, that's something that, I mean, you're going to look at if you're Coach Herlocker, of just, if you're a freshman starting on varsity, that your first year, you're going to be a player to look out for. Yeah. So it's something to watch.
Well, here we go. Kester out there with New for the tip. And it will go in favor of Girard. Sisney on the far wing as they work it around the perimeter, and Orand sets up the offense. A bit of a motion here. Shot clock at 15. So they've yet to get it inside of the 3-point line. Hand off. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Mooneyham drains a 3 early and gets this one started.
And so far it does look like Carson will be the one to kind of lead the charge, and just big part of her game is being able to keep up with the opponent and try to get those easy blocks and easy pokeaways while she's playing that defense.
Good rebound there from Girard. Brings it back to their side of the floor as they lead 3-0. Work inside, Sisney through physicality, drops in another 2 and grows that lead. And already we're seeing that regular, traditional style of Trojan basketball. Orand getting the pickpocket out at midcourt. Hands off to Keller. She can't get the first, but she's fouled on the second. Kennedy Keller headed to the line. That foul was dished to Boyes. Her first.
And like you were saying, this Girard team has gone out to kind of playing like how we have seen them, of just that fast pace, getting steals, getting quick buckets, just that dominant style of defense that they really had to start this year off.
One of the things that I've seen Girard really be able to profit off of in basketball is the points on turnovers has been their friend. Offensively, their setup, it's a little bit slow. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It is a little slow on the offensive setup. But once they get those turnovers and start getting fast breaks, they're just easy to grab points.
And so far, Girard has done a really good job of getting those second chance points underneath the rim, of just things we haven't really seen before.
And a very impressive shot by Orand makes it 8-0 to start off here, just under 2 minutes into this first quarter.
And after only scoring 4 points against that Colgan team last week on Friday, if you're Coach Herlocker, this is one of the things that you love to see, that your team has already doubled that just 2 minutes into the game.
Galena keeps it on the perimeter. Now driving is Strong, and now they'll kick it back out. It's taken away. Kester here on the steal. Works it to Sisney through 4 defenders. And it's tapped out of bounds by the Bulldogs. Will stay here on the Girard side. So they set up the inbound. Sisney will take it. Hands it off to Orand. And now Mooneyham working it back inside. Orand with the end around. Gets the driving lane. Takes it straight to the bucket.
And I mean, Drake, so far in this game, everything that we've talked about, especially last week, kind of seems to just be changed of just the girls are getting good passes down inside and really getting good looks to help them grow this 10-0 lead already quick in this first quarter.
Yeah, we talked to Coach Urlacher after the game last week. One of the things he mentioned was the mentality. It was a confidence thing. When you go down so much, you've got to feel like you always have a fighting chance. Well, we see that confidence here tonight already against Galena. Kester will be marked out of bounds before she was able to get it off into the hands of Keller. And now Galena takes back over down 10, which is just such a tough margin early on. It's so depleting.
And I mean, that's just the confidence level of that, of just being down 10 so quick is one of the biggest things.
Got a foul called underneath. Sisney had to step in the way of the shot, and they will actually call it on the floor. I thought maybe that was a shooting foul, but Galena will inbound it here. It's Boyes. Over to Strong, back to Boyes. Now with it is Hetty. Boyes again looking for a driving lane, and it's taken away. Keller got in the way of the pass. Now Mooneyham working the perimeter with Orand as she directs traffic. Kester from the elbow. Out to Sisney for 3. Can't get it to go. Rebound put back by Keller. No dice, but Kester gets it on the third try.
So far, all 5 starters have scored quick in this first quarter.
And now with that, Briley Black will actually hit the scores table. And it looks like even Trojans taking off her warm-ups and headed to the scores table. So a couple of changes coming up for the Trojans. Foul called in the paint of the Galena side. As they have still yet to grab a bucket or a point even on this board so far. Got a timeout called on the floor, so we will take this moment to take a break, and we'll be right back after this.
More than just your neighborhood pharmacy, Mathis Drug is your hometown partner in health. With pharmacist Bria Scheibe and an experienced, highly trained staff, Mathis Drug is ready to serve you. And now, Mathis Drug offers comprehensive compounding, which is one of the few pharmacies in Southeast Kansas with this convenient on-site service. From medications to expert advice, call 620-261-9779. Mathis Drug Store, where community and care come together.
And we're back on Girard Sports Live. We've got stoppage here as Riley Meyer was trying to get off the floor for the Bulldogs. Trojans and Black checked in for what looks to be Mooneyham and Sisney. Kester, Orand, and Keller all remain on the floor. Kester goes up and will be called for a travel underneath the bucket there. And that looks to be one of the first turnovers, if not the first turnover from the Trojans. Done a good job protecting the ball as Boyes takes it down to the Galena side. We'll work it back over to Boyes on the far side. Strong with it now. Over to the new face, Micah Gilbert. And we've got a jump ball called. Headed back to the Trojans.
So far, the Trojans have done a great job of either getting steals on their own or just forcing turnovers on this Galena team.
Kester to Black in the corner. As they swing it around, Oran from the point, just short on that try. Kester works it back to her. Reset on the shot clock. This one's knocked out of her hands. Keller takes a long range two. Bit strong on that one. And now we've got a jump ball on the Girard side, headed back to the Bulldogs. Inbound will get to Strong. So Strong will take it across mid-floor, covered by Black up top. Strong with it on the far side. Works it into New, who tries to fight through some physicality and is fouled in the process. Shooting two is Mackenzie New, trying to grab the first points for Galena with only 2:15 remaining here in the first. First one is off the rim hard.
Looks like Marley will come back in and Maddie will take a seat.
Second does not fall either, just right of the mark. And now Girard maintains possession, as this one will take us inside of 2 minutes more than likely. Sisney, pump fake from the corner, back to Oran, and now Keller on the close side. They work it back across. Sisney this time takes it. Can't go, it's hard off the back iron. And rebounded by Boyas. Working inside was Strong. This one's loose. Keller grabbed it, and a timeout called by Urlacher. So Girard, no jump ball needed, will get the takeaway. And Urlacher with a well-timed timeout. With that, we'll go ahead and give a shout out to our first timeout sponsor. This break in the action is brought to you by the Southeast Kansas Player Health Alliance and Live Well Crawford County, reminding you to know your limits when gambling and know when the game is playing you. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-426-2537 for free assistance. Just over 90 seconds to play in the first. Trezona gets it, elbow, back out, Black for three, off the top of the backboard. This one is tipped to midcourt. Oran gathers it, and now we'll set up the offense from the top of the key. They work it inside, Black with a try, gets her own rebound, and is fouled on the second chance.
So far to Drake tonight, I mean, just the second chance points are the things that are helping this Lady Trojan team just score. I mean, that's the big thing that we did not see whenever they were going up against that tough Colgan Panther team of just, it seemed like once a shot was put up, if a shot got put up, that was it. And so it just seems like the Trojans are really doing a great job of working until the ball does get in the basket.
Black goes 1 for 2 on that visit. Brings the score 13-0. Minute 5 on the clock. Boyas trying to work around the top of the key. Over to Strong. Strong pitches it. The shot from the line can't go. It's rebounded, and jump ball between Briley Black and Mackenzie New. It'll stick with Galena.
With that call, it looks like both Kennedy Keller and Carson Randall sit, and it looked like Maddie Kester and Augie Mooneyham will check back into the game.
This one bounces hard to the corner. Boyes makes a good move and throws it off of Trojans. Out of bounds. 45 seconds in the first. As on the inbound will be Riley Meyer. Meyer with it. Boyes all the way around to Matthews. And now they'll work it back. Boyes from the points, banks it in for 3. First bucket of the night for Galena. And now no more shot clock. Sisney. Mooneyham. Back to Sisney. 15. Mooneyham from the point. Can't get it. Black gets the rebound. Tries to power dribble inside, and this one is bobbled around between a couple of different players. Strong's got it. Has to chuck it up from half court and almost goes in. 13-3 is the score at the end of the first 8 minutes. We'll take a break here and head into the second quarter right after this.
Farmers Bank is a proud supporter of Girard schools. For generations, Farmers Bank has worked with local leaders, businesses, and residents to help shape the future of Southeast Kansas. Farmers Bank is proud to have helped with the growth and development of the communities we serve. As partners in business and friends in life, Farmers Bank is looking forward to a brighter tomorrow. Farmers Bank, with locations in Hepler, Walnut, St. Paul, and Girard. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Hounds Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Back for the second quarter of action as Girard kicks it off. Orand over to Mooneyham. Mooneyham back to Orand. Far side, working inside. Keller tosses one up and it won't go. So Galena will take over. Caleb through the first quarter, 13-3 is the score, a 10-point gap after the bank shot from Boyes from the top of the key. What do you think of Girard's performance thus far?
I mean, so far tonight, it just really does seem like the girls have been able to fix everything that Coach Herlocker had talked to us of just what he thought they were struggling with, and honestly what we had kind of said were causing the girls to have such a rough patch of just those extra chance points and being able to have such the scoring ability of being able to pass it to one another and get the good looks inside that this team was having at the start of the year. Another side of things is just the defensive style of play of just, it seems like they're playing a little bit more aggressive and getting those same steals that we used to have a steals counter at the start of the year of just how well this team was at just keeping the ball away from the other team. And so I think those are just the biggest things of those ideas have come back to this team so far. And I think if they continue against most of these opponents going forward, Girard basketball will look a lot brighter than it has been in these past couple of weeks.
Well, and I'll say this much. I feel like there have been a couple of opportunities even tonight that have been a little bit missed on from Girard. I would have liked to see them knocked down because that's kind of their style. But overall, certainly it has looked a lot smoother tonight than it has in the past. With a collision between Keller and Boyes. Travel called there near midcourt.
And another factor just in this game is that you will see a lot more production from those bench players with Truzona and Mooneyham and Black of just having your, you don't want to say star senior out, but just because really anyone on this team can have their night. But without Erica Boatman, that's a big contributor of this team's success. And that's just another factor of if you don't have one of your more impressive scores inside, that's going to affect your game. But I believe so far the bench players really have stepped up, and I mean, it really set the tone with that Augie Mooneyham 3 just to open the game. And so I think the Trojans will be just all right in this one.
Galena works it to the corner, trying to work it inside. It's poked away. Kester to Mooneyham. Mooneyham to Oran on the deep pass. Keller gets the and one. First bucket of the second quarter comes just over 2 minutes in. Grows the lead back to 12 and now looking to make it 13. Keller gets it to go. 16-3 score. As Boyes looks for some room, now driving. Pitches it out to Matthews, excuse me. Boyes now working the paint. Gets fouled and will be headed to the line. We'll see who this goes against. That will be accredited to Matty Kester. First one from Boyes is good. And second one good as well. Boyes with all the points so far for Galena, as we see another 2 tacked on.
And I mean,
there from Keller.
That was one of the fastest buckets I've seen this Girard team get, where it was just, I looked down to write down some numbers, and it was just, look back up, and Kennedy was already scoring that bucket. And I think that's going to be one of the things that, as long as Girard can do it in a controlled fashion, that'll be a big way that they can really expand this lead.
Mooneyham tries to get it to Oran. It's taken away by Strong, who tries to get it inside to Boyes and can't go. Sisney takes it all the way down the floor, and now we'll set up the offense from the perimeter. Oran. They flip it out. Sisney on the near side, driving. Gives it off. Kester can't get the bucket to fall, but she'll be headed to the line for another 2. This goes against Matthews. Her first foul, second team foul. Been a fairly clean game so far from both of these. Kester's first, does a little twirl and falls in.
Looks like Augie Mooneyham will take a seat and Briley Black will check into the game.
Kester's second, follows in suit. 15-point lead now for Girard. And this is another takeaway. Keller hands it off. Oran drops in the extra 2. Timeout called by Galena. They want a full one, so we'll take one with them. 22-5 is the score. We'll be right back after this on Girard Sports Live.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Trojan fans can find us at 408B North Grand in Pittsburgh or call 620-232-7305. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net. From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer and drain service. From repair and replacement to septic and grease trap pumping, Roto-Rooter is here for you. With video inspections, Roto-Rooter can identify the exact issue to get the repair done quickly and correctly. Complete sewer line repairs or replacements, Roto-Rooter has you covered. Serving Crawford, Bourbon, and Cherokee counties, Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630.
And we're back on Girard Sports Live here in Galena. If you're just tuning in, Girard's back to their normal ways here as another ball is loose. Foul called. I believe this one's going against Sisney. That it is. It'll be the third team foul for Girard here in the second quarter. Another loose ball, fighting for it is Kester. That was quick. Jump ball.
And that was a jump ball, but this game I had a feeling that I should start doing the steal counter again. And so far, I mean, with a quarter and a half wages done, I mean, there's been 6 steals already for this Girard girls team, and that's just how they've been able to get such easy scoring of just you're keeping the other team from even getting to the other side of the court and even having a chance.
I gotta tell you, you gotta honor the 3 here from Galena. They are good on their 2 open looks as Sisney works with Oran. Black out to Kester. Kester will take a 3 for herself. Just a little short on that try, and now rebounded by Mackenzie New down the floor. New. Scanning. This one will be poked into the hands of Riley Meyer, and now Strong looking to take it all the way inside, off the glass. Rebound Kester. Back the other direction. Kester has Keller down low. Passes it over, and that one, no dice on it either. They work it inside to New. New tries to fight around Black. Rebounded by Sisney, and now Oran takes off. Slowing it down at midcourt. As Black steps up. And now Oran from the corner. Drains it for 3. 25-8 is the score as we dip inside of 3 minutes. This one's tipped away. Black grabs it, hands it off, and now here's Sisney. Sisney down low. Keller, Kester, good ball movement for an extra 2. And a timeout called on the floor. We'll take this moment to talk about our other timeout sponsor here today, which is Salon 214. This timeout is brought to you by Salon 214, now open at 107 North Ozark in Girard. Take a timeout to pamper yourself with Vanessa and her team at Salon 214. And take a timeout to check out Salon 214 on Facebook as well. Girard leading 27-8, a 19-point lead as it stands. And they have tacked on quite a few points here in this quarter, off to a bit of a slow start too.
And I mean, Girard, they really got quick 8 easy points in that first quarter, and then things have kind of just been steadily going along. And I mean, they've grown this lead, and just here in this last, minute, Girard had a quick, easy 5 points. And so just really having these little spurts of scoring that have really just exceeded them into just the position they're in of being up by nearly 20 points already in the second quarter. And I mean, this is the basketball that we are used to, really, with just those odd couple of weeks of just tough opponents.
Scored 12 points in the last 3 minutes. As we've got a travel called here at the top. Guilty is Michaela Matthews. Oran will start things here for Girard once again. Kester back around. Oran from the top, and she's clean with it. Good for another 3 for Carson Oran. Boyes. Pass inside to New. New takes the shot and is fouled in the process. That goes against Trezona. which will be her first. New shooting 2 here. First one, good to go. One dribbling in for New on both free throws, 2 for 2 from that visit. As Galena is down by 20 right now. Black up top to Arand. Working it inside, Trojans couldn't quite reel it in. Now Boyes will take it across midcourt for Galena. Over to Strong for 3, and she gets it.
Like you said, this Galena team are a group of sharpshooters. They are able to hit the 3 at any time.
Keller tries to answer, can't go. Trojans with the rebound, kicks back out. Arand back to Keller. Kester now in long range, works down to the block and checks up from there for another 2. Galena kind of keeping pace with the Trojans. Much better this quarter than they did in the first, as Black gets another takeaway. Trying to go coast to coast, and that one's pickpocketed by Strong. And now we've got a foul called as Black was in pursuit. Be the second foul against Black and the 5th team foul, which leads Galena to the line with 33.8 seconds. Strong's first is off the mark.
With that being Briley's second foul, it looks like Augie Mooneyham will check in and Black will take a seat.
Strong, no dribbles on that warm-up. Grows it to 14 for Galena. It's been an 11-point quarter so far. 22 seconds remaining as Trojans goes up for it. Travel called on the floor with Keller falling to her knees, and 19 seconds remaining. Here's Meyer. Trying to work it to New. This ball's loose. Handed off to Boyes. And we've got a timeout called with 6.2 seconds. Let's try and reestablish things here for Galena, who are currently down by 18.
I mean, so far in this game, especially in the second quarter, Galena has really kept up with the Trojans, it seems like. And so, I mean, Girard was able to get out to that 10-0 lead, and that's really what's helped them keep this lead so large of just staying ahead of the Galena Bulldogs. And without this game, you would look at it and would think that it'd be a lot more competitive.
Yeah, I totally agree. This has been a not really dominant by Girard as much as it is just kind of outpacing Galena here in the second quarter. First quarter was more dominant for sure, as defensively Girard looked pretty well impenetrable. This is a shot from Strong. Rebound is tipped away. Buzzer sounds. That will be the end of the first half. 14-32 is the score. It's an 18-point game here in Galena. As we will see the boys warm up, we'll take a break, and we'll be right back for halftime stats and analysis here on Girard Sports Live, presented by Crocan.
Producers Cooperative Association is the area leader in providing quality agricultural products, services, and markets. PCA has what you need to maximize your operation with a full-service agronomy department, grain origination, handling and storage, bulk fuels and lubricants, propane, a jam-packed farm store, and livestock feeds in bulk or bagged. PCA is proud to call Girard home and to support Trojan athletics. Stop by or see more online at pcacoop.com.
Here at Pittsburgh Interiors, we are proud to be family owned and operated, serving our community with quality style and service since 1999. Step into our showroom and explore furniture, flooring, window treatments, mattresses, and more. Whether you're designing a dream home, office, or simply just adding that finishing touch, our expert team is here to help. Discover why families and businesses have trusted us for over 25 years. Pittsburgh Interiors, where style meets comfort and family comes first.
More than just your neighborhood pharmacy, Mathis Drug is your hometown partner in health. With pharmacist Bria Scheibe and an experienced, highly trained staff, Mathis Drug is ready to serve you. And now, Mathis Drug offers comprehensive compounding, which is one of the few pharmacies in Southeast Kansas with this convenient on-site service. From medications to expert advice, call 620-261-9779. Mathis Drug Store, where community and care come together.
Welcome to Homestead of Girard, assisted and independent living right here in our hometown. At Homestead, seniors enjoy compassionate care in a community designed for comfort. Licensed professionals provide support with daily activities, dressing, bathing, and medication management. Residents enjoy home-cooked meals and the comfort of their own private apartment. Call 620-724-6760 to schedule your tour today. Homestead of Girard, senior living with compassion, comfort, and community.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for more than 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Missing that human touch with your bank? Come talk to a real person at Community National Bank and Trust. We're your local bank that's small enough to know you, yet big enough to offer the best products. Community National Bank and Trust, federally insured, locally awesome. Member FDIC.
Hi, do you offer insurance bundling?
Enter authentication code to start transaction.
Where would I get the code?
Please enter code.
Okay. Sometimes humans are just more helpful.
Wrong.
Let's talk about bundling and see if there are other ways for you to save with a super check.
That sounds great.
Here, take a look.
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Call Judd, Lori, Jenny, or Amber in Girard today.
How is it so fast?
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Chicken Annie's Girard. When you're facing a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Catering and carry out from Chicken Annie's Girard. When an onion ring craving is too much to bear, when the family's coming over and you weren't aware, it's Chicken Annie's Girard to the rescue. When there's 20, 30, 100 to feed, you need Chicken Annie's Girard indeed. A heroic value, superb flavor. When there's a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Chicken Annie's Girard.
And we're back for the halftime show here on Girard Sports Live. This halftime show is brought to you by GN Bank, where they've been providing customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way for over 100 years. personal, business, or agricultural needs, turn to GN Bank. Learn more at gn-bank.com. And as we look back at the first half, Kennar Eye Care is here to make sure you can see what you're looking at. Kennar Eye Care, with locations in Pittsburgh and Girard, is here to help their valued customers. Learn more at KennarEyeCare.com. Caleb, give us a rundown on these stats so far through the first 2 quarters.
I mean, so far with scoring in these first 2 quarters, our leading scorer is Carson Oran, followed by Maddie Kessler, who does have 8. Then it's Kennedy with 6, Augie with 3, Marley with 2, and Briley Black with 1. And so far in scoring, the scoring has been very well spread across the board, with definitely Carson and Maddie taking the lead in that category, with Carson having those back-to-back threes really that helped expand the lead in the second quarter. And then the other thing is just that I've noted is that this team has 9 steals already in this first half. And so just that is something that we have not seen recently, that this team has kind of been associating themselves with. And that's just the big thing of just, it seems like they really did get back to that style of defense of just putting a hand in between a pass, trying to do anything to just intercept that ball.
Yeah, I mean, it has been a classic Girard night so far with a lot of positives. I think I kind of stand by what I said in between the first and the second quarter, though, that there are some improvements that I believe Girard could be making right now. But overall, you know, not to be super nitpicky, it has been a pretty positive night in comparison to some of the games that we have been watching across the last couple of weeks. I got to say, their best performance, I think, still stands at the Burlington tournament, taking down Ottawa. That was such a impressive win. It was a hard-fought one. I felt like they kind of adapted perfectly in that contest, and certainly just put together a really good offense, as well as just holding a team while being down by nearly 10 points there towards the final minutes.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, just that, I feel like we don't give enough credit to that Ottawa performance of just, the girls were able to take down the number 5 ranked team in 4A, and so it's just, if they're able to play like that, I mean, who knows what happens in the state tournament. And so it's just, that was definitely one of the best games that we've seen from them, and then just some rough losses since then. And so from that game until now, I think the girls have really picked it up, and they are playing how we've seen them play before in the past.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you saw the Ottawa win, and you kind of hoped that they would roll off of that and use that win to really kind of kickstart the fire, start the engine a little bit, and just get things going in that direction. Because if they play like that against any of those last couple of opponents across the last few weeks, they beat them all. You know, that performance certainly is win-worthy over anybody that they have played since then, and that includes Colgan. I mean, that, I know that was kind of a tough pill to swallow last week, especially going into the weekend and then knowing you're going to come back and play right again on Tuesday. But looking at that game, it wasn't a lack of defense. It was really just a lack of offense on Girard's side, that they just weren't able to get underneath the bucket and get those necessary points to keep up with the Panthers.
And in that game, I mean, just the shots weren't falling. It seemed like everything the ladies put up, it just never really seemed to work out, and it didn't go in. And so something just in this game is that it's gotten better, and a lot of those shots that we had seen that might have bounced down or kind of just weren't even close, they're now going in. And that's just the big thing of that. If you're getting your scoring up, that's what's going to start really giving this team confidence and really getting them back to how they were at the start of the season.
Well, those halftime stats and the analysis is brought to you by B&B Excavating. Numbers don't lie, dirt is heavy. Call B&B Excavating to move what needs moving. Specializing in septic systems, water line install and repair, driveways, rock hauling, and leveling. B&B Excavating, call 620-724-2735 as we get right back into the action here. 3 is in for Mooneyham. to kick off this third quarter on a good note. Mooneyham has been very efficient from outside the perimeter.
And I mean, that is her second three, and she started with that first three almost exactly like how she started the second half with starting that first half with a quick three. So I wouldn't complain if that's her thing going forward.
And from a similar spot on the floor, you flip sides. Last time it was from the far side, this time the near. So on her left, like to see that kind of getting a groove of things from a similar spot on the floor. Feel like you're a little bit lethal from that position. That confidence just steps up even more. A great drive inside from Marley Sisney with a beautiful Euro step. Gets past the defenders and drops in another two. 16-37.
And so far we've talked about how the third quarter can be an issue with teams of just if they kind of start to fall off a little bit. But so far in this third, the Trojans have been able just to keep up what they were doing in those first two quarters.
Down the floor with Kester after the rebound. O'Rand now takes the point. Sets up the offense from there. Mooneyham from the same spot online, but just couldn't get it with the right distance.
I thought she had it again.
I did too. I thought she was going to go almost 3 for 3 from that position. And that's one of those things they call a heat check in basketball. You know, lighten it up from two times from the same spot. Now you try again. Strong tries to answer that with a three of her own. Can't get it. Now here's Strong from the far side wing. Working it inside and back out. Three from Matthews. Dances and doesn't fall through. Fighting for it. Leaves Keller on the floor. And now Boyes. Over to Meyer. No dice on that try. Foul on the floor. See who this goes against here. That will be Maddie Kester.
That'll be something to watch with it being Maddie's third foul quick into this third quarter.
Three from Strong off the back iron, no dice. And Keller hits the deck once again, but gets the pass off to Mooneyham in time.
I feel like we say that at least 3 times a game. Kennedy falling down.
Keller just such a physical player as Sisney finds herself on the close side wing. Back over, Sisney for three, and no dice on that try either. Once again, right on line, just a little bit short. Here's a three try for Galena, and they find their stride. That was Michaela Matthews from the corner. Inside, Kester, back out, Sisney. O'Rand swings it, Mooneyham for three. They're really trying to get this one to fall, and it'll be out of bounds on Galena. Matthews touched it with her foot out.
Looks like Riley Black will check in, and Mooneyham will take a seat.
0 for 3 on the last 3 attempts from three. Kester misses that one as well, and now 0 for 4 for Girard. Like to see him work it inside and just kind of collect a little bit of something here on this bonus possession.
I was just about to say that. Just kind of seems like 3-point shot after 3.
Here's O'Rand with a try, and she cashes it. Says, you guys don't know what you're talking about. Give me a shot and I'll make it count. 40-19. Grows the lead to 21. And that pass way off the mark, ends up in the grasp of Black. O'Rand finds herself wide open and one after the fact. 23-point lead, looking to make it 24 here for Carson O'Rand as she is up to 17.
It's like Trezona will check in and Marley Sisney will take a seat.
That free throw bit off the mark. Keller gets the pickpocket and dishes it to Oran down low. Inside, Trezona for two. No dice. Kester's fouled, and now she gets to try from the foul stripe. That foul goes against Mackenzie New. That was back-to-back on New, which puts her right on pace for foul trouble. 3 for her, as Kester just dodges the inside of the rim. .335 with 35 on the shot clock. Kester winds up her second, and man, hard off the rim.
No dice.
Misses. Yeah, no dice from there either. 0 for 3 on the last 3 attempts from the foul stripe for the Trojans. They work it inside. Kick out. Here's the shots from Matthews. No dice, rebound Kester. Oran looking down court for an open receiver. Keller will boot up for the 2. I think they actually were going to count that as a 3. I thought she stepped right inside.
I thought she was in the 2. It's like Marley will come back in and Maddie Kester will take a seat.
And man, these ladies have been playing physical. For being up by 23 points, you wouldn't think it to be a physical game. But speaking of physical, here's Keller down the floor. Layup won't go. Oran taps it back out. And now back the other direction. New can't get the try. An open look there for Galena. Now Oran gets an open look herself and makes it count for the Trojans. Just outside of 20 for Carson Oran.
And so far, the Trojans have sort of been playing that kind of pressure defense that we've seen them play before, and honestly, I think that's one of the most successful parts of their game that we honestly haven't seen recently from Coach Herlocker. And so I think if that's something that they get back to, that'll be a big part of just getting those steals, and just that's how they were able to play such great defense, of just that constant pressure.
Trezona subs out. I believe she's got maybe a bloody nose here. So she has to check out for the time being. Boyes drains another 3 for Galena. She is the outright leading scorer for the Bulldogs at 8. Here's a 3 try. Mooneyham! Hot spot for Augie Mooneyham. Gets another from that position and bumps her points up to 9. Oran with another takeaway into 20 for Carson Oran.
That's 21 for Carson. I mean, just great scoring that has really, helped this team just grow such a lead.
Kester will check in for Kennedy Keller. And now Oran will take the point. 49-22. It's a 27-point difference right now as they swing it around the horn. Just over a minute remaining here in the third quarter. Sisney tries her shot, and it's in and out. And Black will get called for a foul at the end of the transaction. That's her third, so now she's in a bit of foul trouble with still just over a minute remaining. Matthews and Boyes working it over to Meyer. Matthews. Here's Gilbert, and another takeaway. Trojans moving quickly down the floor. Oran. Kester. Driving, kick out, Mooneyham. Thought she was gonna try again. And now here's Kester out to Mooneyham. And we've got a lane violation believe that one's actually going to go against Briley Black.
I mean, Augie was open right in that one spot.
Yep.
I was expecting another 3.
She was getting the call right there. Boyes, they work it to Strong in the corner. Back up top. And now Boyes drives off the glass and in for 2. Under 10 to go. O'Rand, oh, she had Mooneyham wide open on the cut. The no-look pass just behind. And with 5 seconds, Strong is going to chip it away. New for 3. No dice. And out of bounds at the buzzer. 24-49 is the score, headed into the final 8 minutes of play here in Galena. You're watching Girard Sports Live, presented by Croccan. We'll be right back after this.
Since 1918, GN Bank has been the heart of our community. Big enough to meet all your banking needs, but small enough to offer that personal touch you deserve. From agricultural loans to home mortgages, GN Bank has the expertise, products, and service to help you thrive. With a pledge to treat others ethically, be adaptable, focus on customers, and invest in the communities they serve, GN Bank is committed to your success. The best place to bank and borrow, GN Bank, where community banking truly comes first. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
I was raised in a small town, and there was a lot of people who took time to invest in me. And so when we decided to open up our offices, we want to make sure that we're pouring back into the community that's giving to us. We care. We want to be involved. We want to have a passion for what you have a passion for. We want to be able to give back. And that's the foundation. That's why we're more than just insurance.
(24-49) is the score. Here in the final 8 minutes of action on Girard Sports Live. If you're just tuning in, I'm Drake Miller here in the booth with Caleb Humble. 2 shots is good from Galena's Mackenzie New. 26-49 now. Girard has been on a scoring tear as of late in this game. As they kick out, Sisney around to Kester. Inside, Black finds herself at the block. Sisney in the corner, inside of 10 remaining on the shot clock, and that one's broken loose. Galena takes over. New. Over to Boyes. Strong from the point. Dances and does not fall. So now Mooneyham will take it down the floor after the rebound from Keller. Black inside. Keller from the stripe. Kester from the corner. No dice on that try. Rebound by New. New scanning, finds Boyes towards the block. He dribbles around, tries for a 2, no good. Keller with the rebound. Hands off to Mooneyham. O'Rand and Trezona occupy the bench currently. As Black from the corner, just Strong on that try. Fought for at the base between 2 Trojans and Michaela Matthews. 6:01 to go. Keller. Inbound. Kester, good for 2.
Kester.
51-26. Kester now into the double digits, joining O'Rand, with Mooneyham sitting just outside of that mark herself. Matthews to Boyes. Back to Strong, now trying to work it to New, and we've got a foul called down low. This goes against Kennedy Keller, her second.
And so far in this game, I mean, the Trojans have, you can't really pin it just to either they've had a great defense or a great offensive game. So far, I mean, the amount of steals they've had and how efficient they've been at scoring is just the two biggest things that they've really changed since these last couple of weeks that have helped them just grow such a lead.
Here's Boyes from the outside. They work it in. New kicks back out. Boyes for three. Cash. 29-51. 22-point lead now for Girard inside of 5 minutes to play. Kester back to Sisney. Kester from the far side wing. Flat on that try, and now a foul called against Briley Black, who will obtain her fourth of the night. Checking out in due time. So now starters on the floor here for Girard. As Meyer goes over and back. Another turnover against Galena, and that has kind of been the story of tonight.
And I mean, I've just been writing down steals and not turnovers necessarily, but that's kind of been what the Trojans have really been great at forcing.
Mooneyham trying from that same spot. Right now she is 3 for 5 on tries from that position. She's taken significantly more on this side of the floor as she did in the first half.
She seems like she found her spot and she's sticking with it.
I like that kind of motion there. Is kind of build your confidence. You know you've made a couple. You know what it feels like to get those to fall. You know what a made shot looks like out of the hand. Be a nice little boost there for some of these players. Sisney, Orand over to Mooneyham. Keller back out as they work it around. Kester from the elbow, inside Keller, kick out. Sisney, three from the opposite wing. No dice on that try. Rebounded by the Bulldogs. Inside of 3:30 to go. New swings it over to Meyer off of her foot into Boyes' hands. New looking to drive the base. Now Strong. Kniving up the right side and drops in a 2. 20-point game as we will take a timeout here. We'll take one with them on the floor. 51-31 is the score. We'll be right back after this.
Every day, people are discovering that bigger isn't better. Better is better. Big box stores continue to disappoint. You have spoken, and we have been listening. You want a great selection with dependable service at a competitive price. We understand, and that's what we bring to you every day. We know that we have to work hard to earn your business, and we will. Bigger isn't better. Better is better at Heidrick's, Fort Scott, and Girard.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Trojan fans can find us at 408B North Grand in Pittsburgh or call 620-232-7305 to find a...
Inside of the final 3 minutes here in the fourth quarter on Girard Sports Live. Boys game up next after this, so don't go anywhere at the end of this contest, as we will have an interview from head coach Brad Urlacher, followed by the boys game, and then an interview with head coach Rod Westcott. Kester trying to work the underneath, gets fouled in the process. And she is slow to get up. Looks like she's holding her arm, maybe hit her funny bone, or at least I hope.
She seems, I think you might be right. She seems to be doing all right and moving pretty well.
Her elbow is what she's holding on to, and I think I heard her say, I don't know how I'm gonna shoot. And so they will bring Briley Black in for Maddie Kester. And now to decide who's going to shoot the free throws. Looks like it'll be Briley Black, so whoever subs in for Kester will be the one to take the shots. 31-51 is the score. First one is good. Already off to a better start on this visit. Black goes 1 for 2 on that trip to the line, and almost another collision there with Kester as Sisney was hustling to keep that ball in bounds.
Maddie's being targeted in these last couple of minutes.
Matthews works it inside, but it's taken away by Black. So now Mooneyham take it down the floor. Orand, they work it back around. Black, back out. Sisney, Mooneyham, slowing things down. Still 20 on the shot clock. Orand for 3, no dice. Rebound Galena. As Black actually hit the floor on that one. They work it around the horn to Boyes. Now back up top with Hetty. Here's Strong trying to drive. Can't get past Sisney, and her pass off the mark. Out of bounds. As they will make a pretty well full court substitution here for Girard. 3 new faces on the floor. As that will be Macy Munkin, Reagan Aplotnik, excuse me, and Avery Brooks. Here's Boyes for the Bulldogs, trying to work inside. Strong now, back out to New. Matthews, pump fake. Strong still trying to drive. Gives it off to New, and that's no dice. Inside of 40 to go here in the girls' game. Work it to Brooks. Back out, Munkin. Driving off the backboard and out of bounds with 23 seconds on the clock. No more shot clock as Galena will take this one down the floor. Strong back to Boyas. Now working it inside to New. New takes her shot and is fouled. Trojans given that foul there. It's Trojans' second of the game. As New makes it a 20-point deficit once more. See if she can bring it inside of 20, and that will pretty much do it. She does not. It's bobbled, and then down the floor for Girard. Munkin keeps it outside. Brooks takes a shot from the foul stripe. No good. Rebound to Plotnick, and that's the buzzer. Final score 52-32 here for the first game of the night. Galena advances to 4-9 with Girard getting another win under their belt and boosting themselves past 500 after the break.
Yep, and I mean, great game for the girls. I mean, just getting right back on track and getting back into the CNC matchups of just getting a win under the normal games without it being tournament play. And so, a great game just to get right back on track.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at score-wise, obviously a 20-point victory. Nothing to be ashamed of there. Steals and turnovers, forcing a lot of those there for this Girard squad. They did a great job kind of locking down the floor defensively, and then offensively capitalizing on a good amount of their opportunities. Creating opportunities, I feel like, was kind of the big deal tonight, though, being able to get those takeaways, get past the defense on the steals, and then be able to just kind of have those wide open looks from underneath the basket was certainly to their fortune, and didn't leave any open space there on those chances either. They took advantage of pretty much each and every one of them.
And I mean, definitely the girls were just a lot better about this game than kind of in the past, of just really closing in on opportunities that they get, of being able to just take advantage of those easy buckets and getting those easy turnovers that they've gotten before.
Yeah, and just kind of looking forward as we advance in the schedule. Next up for this Trojan squad here on Girard Sports Live is going to be Labette County. That'll be this Thursday, February 5th. So keep a lookout for that. And as well as we've got the boys game around the corner against, like I said before, a pretty competitive Galena squad that historically has performed pretty well against a lot of the CNC teams. So excited to see this one get underway as we'll take a break. We'll be right back with the interview with head coach Brad Urlacher.
At Girard Medical Center, our physical and occupational therapy department is dedicated to helping you bounce back stronger. Whether you're recovering from an injury, surgery, or just want to move better every day. From student athletes to seniors, we provide personalized care and expert support right here at home. To learn more about our therapy department and our other services, visit GirardMedicalCenter.com, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
More than just your neighborhood pharmacy, Mathis Drug is your hometown partner in health. With pharmacist Bria Scheibe and an experienced, highly trained staff, Mathis Drug is ready to serve you. And now, Mathis Drug offers comprehensive compounding, which is one of the few pharmacies in Southeast Kansas with this convenient on-site service. From medications to expert advice, call 620-261-9779. Mathis Drug Store, where community and care come together.
Back on the Eastside Cafe post-game show as we welcome Coach Urlacher to the booth. First off, Coach, congratulations on the win tonight, as that was a great performance coming off of some really tough opponents and grabbing the win here in Galena. As we look at the game, it looks like points off turnovers was really your guys' specialty tonight, kind of getting back in the groove of things there. What else would you say really led to the success?
Yeah, well, you touched on it there. This latest rankings came out, and Riverton's ranked now too, so turned out we played 6 ranked opponents in a row. I don't know that I've ever done that in 27 years of coaching, and man, that wears on you and wears you down, and we have an injury, maybe another one, and but I thought the kids came out and did what they needed to do. You're in Galena, Kansas on a Tuesday, the furthest league school you can go to, which makes it kind of rough on a Tuesday. But I don't think we shot the ball particularly well. But like you say, our defense became our offense at times, and I thought we got out in transition maybe better than we've done in quite some time. And just got to continue to build off of this. It's a 3-game week, so we don't have a whole lot of time to rest and whatever. We get one more practice and then we'll play 2 more games. So it's kind of like an NBA schedule, I guess. But overall, just really, really proud of the effort. I thought we brought it on defense. Kennedy Keller, she just never stops. And I think Carson Orand, not everybody shot well, but I thought Carson Orand shot pretty well. I thought Augie Mooneyham shot pretty well, and they both brought pretty good defense as well, and just did what we needed to do on a Tuesday to win a basketball game.
Yeah, Augie Mooneyham, I was going to touch on her real quick as she kind of steps in as that starter with missing Boatman and comes out early in the game and just knocks down a 3. What does that do for your guys' team morale, just kind of rolling into a game like we had said, coming off of some really tough opponents and then just knocking one down early to really set the tone?
That's what we talked about all year. It seems like we hit those first couple shots and it just all kind of rolls together and we play pretty darn well. And we don't hit those first couple shots, and then we start thinking about stuff way too much. So, yeah, she hit some big-time shots tonight, I thought. Very, very proud of her. She's solid on defense as well. Just a really, really good girl, good kid, good human being. And so, she's one of those people you cheer for. I just love my team. I love my kids. I think they come every day and work hard, and it paid off tonight.
Yeah, and then, of course, you touched on Carson Orand earlier as well. Her breaking 20 points tonight, kind of becoming that leader role offensively, and like you said, kind of turning that defense into offense. We always say on the broadcasts all the time, it feels like you're constantly saying poked out by Carson Orand.
Yeah.
And that is just, can you talk about her just a little bit and the role that she's starting to step into this?
And yesterday at practice, unbelievably positive person, unbelievably encouraging to her teammates. She is standing into a leadership role. We only have 2 seniors, so our juniors have to also step up and help us with leadership, especially with Erica Boatman out. And that's a big, huge hole to fill with Erica out, and she took a big step towards that. Her and Kennedy Keller just kind of a 1-2 punch with, out front. I don't know that I'd want to bring down the ball with those 2, somebody 6 those 2 on me. But no, Carson, she's growing really well into that role. I'm, just again another good kid and deserves. No one works harder than Carson Orand, especially in the off season. So. I love seeing kids that work their tail off, that have put the time in on the game. I tell them basketball never lies. Basketball's a game. It knows what you've done, and it knows the time that you put in. And she's certainly of any player I have on the team, very deserving of success, very deserving of to see that ball go in the hole. So proud of her, proud of the whole team.
Well, Coach, thank you for coming up and taking the time to come talk to us. Looking forward to your guys' games at Labette County as well as the Friday game, and hoping for the success going forward this week.
Yeah, Labette's always a tough place to play. We'll have to come out and play probably better than we even did tonight to come out with some success there. and then we finish at home. Luckily, on a Friday we'll finish at home with Anderson County. At least it's not three road trips in a row. But we've been road warriors here lately, and like I say, played a lot of big time teams. So just proud of the girls and just overall how they've handled everything.
Well, thank you again, Coach.
Thank you.
Looking forward to calling for you guys here the rest of this week. That post-game coaches interview is brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust. Serving the area for 30 years, stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard schools. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com, and that is the post-game show brought to you by Eastside Cafe. Experience the best breakfast in town 6 days a week at 120 South Ozark Street in Girard. Eastside Cafe, a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics. Caleb, you're back with us here on the mic. Do you have an idea for player of the game tonight?
I mean, I think the easiest option is just Carson Orand. I mean, she was the lead scorer. She had some big threes there in the second quarter that really just opened this game up. And so for me tonight, I'd say Carson Orand.
Well, Orand will be given the player of the game tonight, as I really couldn't agree more. That's brought to you by Producers Co-op Association, which is the Girard High School Booster Club game sponsor tonight. For more than 75 years, PCA has proudly served Southeast Kansas and Southwest Missouri as a full-service, member-owned agricultural cooperative. Right here in Girard, PCA is proud to support local families, schools, and community events, investing in the neighbors they serve every day. Visit PCA at any one of our locations, including Girard, Fort Scott, Liberal, and Moundville. And with that, we will go ahead and talk about our shot of the game, which is brought to you by Bradshaw Collision Repair. Bob Bradshaw offers refinishing, paintless dent repair, glass replacement, and more. Let Bradshaw Collision Repair get you back in the game. Call 620-724-7300. And Caleb, I've got a proposal here for shot of the game, and I just got to say the first shot. The first shot of the game, Augie Mooneyham coming out here, stepping into that starter role, taking over for Erica Boatman. Not necessarily playing the same role, but coming up as that designated 6, and then just coming out and dropping one in, immediately opening up the scoring. Do you have any objection?
I mean, I'm right there with you. She set the tone of this game just right off the bat with that 3. The only thing I was going to say was I was going to let you choose, but I was going to say any one of the 3 threes that Augie had tonight. So, I mean, I'm with you. I'm saying that first shot.
Yeah, I mean, and even Coach Urlacher talking about setting the tone early and how important that is to that team and how he has acknowledged that throughout this season, just being able to say, mentality is everything going into these games. So I feel like there was no better selection there. And Mooneyham, of course, kind of really showing out for us from outside the perimeter, and looking forward to that going forward. And, that can really start to get on a train and get some momentum rolling into some of these tougher opponents. Labette County is not going to be an easy one like maybe tonight was, so looking forward to that. But we'll go ahead and send it to another quick break, and we'll be right back with a quick pregame show for the boys' game, so stay tuned for that on Girard Sports Live. We'll be right back.
Chicken Annie's of Girard is something to crow about. Their family-style restaurant continues a Southeast Kansas tradition with their specialty, fried chicken, plus famous homemade onion rings, chicken and noodles, and so much more. And of course, their delicious homemade pies. Dine in or carry out available. Chicken Annie's of Girard has the best value, flavor, and service in the area. Stop in soon or call for catering. 620-724-4090.
Siebert back to pass. Lehman diving for the end zone, and they get the listing. Lehman passes off to Siebert on the far wing. Siebert the lob, and Lehman with the alley-oop dunk to close the deal. Lehman a hard hit ball to left field. Siebert is at the wall, and they close another one. Lehman Realty with another big-time win. Lehman Realty, proud to support the Girard Trojans.
Thanks to your support, Kenora Eye Care has expanded. With double the space, they offer more exam rooms, larger optical selection, and extended hours to fit your schedule. And with the latest technology, they can quickly diagnose any eye-related issues. All patients are welcome at Kenora Eye Care, the clear choice for your family's vision.
You've enjoyed life. Over the years, your community has become your passion, something you hope future generations get to experience, just as you have. That's why the Girard Area Community Foundation has worked hard to help fulfill charitable goals and inspire generosity, meeting the needs of the communities they serve. Creating a legacy fund with GACF ensures what you leave behind is an effective and lasting improvement in the community you love so dearly. Make plans to visit GirardAreaFoundation.com, preserving traditions for those who follow.
I was hoping to talk to someone about updating my insurance policy.
I am able to understand complete sentences.
That was a complete sentence?
I didn't understand that.
Or can I just talk to a person?
No one talks to humans anymore.
Sometimes humans are just more helpful.
I hear you. Why don't we review your coverage with a super check?
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Call Judd, Lori, Ginny, or Amber in Girard today.
Since 1918, GN Bank has been the heart of our community. Big enough to meet all your banking needs, but small enough to offer that personal touch you deserve. From agricultural loans to home mortgages, GN Bank has the expertise, products, and service to help you thrive. With a pledge to treat others ethically, be adaptable, focus on customers, and invest in the communities they serve, GN Bank is committed to your success. The best place to bank and borrow, GN Bank, where community banking truly comes first. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Here at Pittsburgh Interiors, we are proud to be family owned and operated, serving our community with quality style and service since 1999. Step into our showroom and explore furniture, flooring, window treatments, mattresses, and more. Whether you're designing a dream home, office, or simply just adding that finishing touch, our expert team is here to help. Discover why families and businesses have trusted us for over 25 years. Pittsburgh Interiors, where style meets comfort and family comes first.
Farmers Bank is a proud supporter of Girard School.
Back on for the quick pregame show here as we will pretty much be rolling right into the opening tip. Got the national anthem coming up, so we will step aside for the moment, and then we will roll into starters. Back on the pregame show here as we get set for the boys' game. Following the girls' victory, 52-32. You can always go back and watch that on Girard Sports Live. But right now, booting up for the boys' game, let's go ahead and roll into the starters here. Caleb, go ahead and give them to me for Girard.
And it does look like our Girard starting lineup will be back to kind of how it was, with it starting off with number 1, a junior, Perrin Stevens, number 4, a sophomore, Jackson Smith, number 5, a junior, Harrison Burke, number 12, a junior, Ben Colin, and number 35, a junior, Blake Brokaw.
Starting lineups tonight are brought to you by the Jagged Edge. The Trojans will start this game in style, but nowhere near the level of style you'll find at the Jagged Edge. Stylist Carla Sands will have you looking your best for your next big game. Make an appointment soon by calling 620-724-7500. Rolling into the Bulldogs. Starting it off with number 1, Jet Giesel. sophomore. Number 4, a senior, Chase Cottrell. Number 13, a senior, Evan Wittenmeyer. Followed by, see when they depart here, 24, sophomore Isaiah Farfan, and number 3, Sway Dixon. That's a sophomore as well. So, like you said, for Girard, going kind of back to their regular scheduled program with Briggs Buckingham sitting on the bench. It looks like Adrian Newton is dressed out tonight as opposed to the Colgan game last week, so always good to see him ready to go.
Yeah,
go ahead.
It looks like Girard has a fully healthy team that they have not had in quite some time since before the tournament.
Both Buckingham and Schultz, as well as Newton now, all starting off without their warm-ups on. They're ready to go.
And I believe that will probably be the only players coming off the bench tonight in crucial minutes.
Short 3 there from Dixon, and another miss leads to Girard ball after a long possession there for the Bulldogs. Cullen takes it down the floor, and now Stevens sets up from the point. Brocobb to Cullen. Looking inside as they dish it over to Smith. Burke back to Smith. Smith scanning back to Burke. Stevens now trying to work the underneath. It's poked away and out of bounds on Giesel.
And earlier this year, whenever these two teams met, Girard was able to come away with the victory in quite a large margin, winning that game 50-22. So definitely one of the largest wins the boys have had all year, except for that first game playing Humboldt.
Over to Brocobb. Back to Smith. Very few seconds on the shot clock as that one does not get off in time. Stevens did knock down that 2, but just won't count this time around as shot clock sounded. So now 2 long possessions later, Galena with the ball once again as they work it on the outside. Burke trying for the takeaway. Giesel tosses it inside to Farfan. 3 from Giesel won't go. Rebound Smith as he flips it to Stevens. Now Cullen looking inside as they will set up the offense.
So far in this game, it kind of just seems like you're still deciding which team will draw that first blood and really get the scoring going.
Burke got hacked at there underneath. Surprised there wasn't a foul called, as looked like his arms kind of got barred down. Still nothing from both sides, and now we've got a foul called underneath. Burke gets called there for a little excessive physicality on Wittenmeyer. Giesel gets it into Dixon. Still no substitutions yet from either team. Giesel's 2, no dice. Burke to Cullen, down the floor to Brocobb, and now back out to Stevens as they set up. Burke, his pass, poked, and now boxed out as Giesel was trying to recover. Coach Westcott a little bit fired up here as we are nearly 3 minutes into this first quarter with nothing to show of it. Another one poked away.
And so far, it seems like neither team can really get a good look at the basket. Just kind of back and forth of either takeaways or missed shots.
Burke to Brocobb, over to Stevens. Wide open 3 look. It dances off the rim. Stevens back over to Smith, and he's off the glass for two. Wondering who was gonna get it, and it was Jackson Smith from underneath to score first, and an immediate answer from Galena.
That always seems so interesting in basketball, that once your opponent scores, it seems like you're due to finally get one to fall.
A lot of times I think that transition down the floor is just a little bit slow from the scoring team, as Brocob gets another two to fall, but leaves just a couple of cracks in the defense that Galena managed to find quickly. Now they're gonna reset here. With the ball is Cottrell. Now over to Farfin. Giesel from the point, trying to dribble inside. Here's Farfin for three. No dice, rebounded by Stevens. Smith down the floor, trying to Euro step inside, but he was pickpocketed by Giesel. And move it to Dixon. Back around. This time with Cottrell. Still no substitutions. 6 players waiting to enter the game here between both teams, as 3:30 hits the clock. Brocob inside. Cullen with a power dribble, trying to get inside of the paint, and we've got a travel called. And that will be the stoppage that these 6 have been waiting for in the game. Schultz, Buckingham, and Newton all coming in for Smith, Brocob, and Burke.
And I mean, with our normal 5 on the floor, there is that, triple substitution, that trio that we've talked about, just back in action coming off the bench.
Gannon Scarrow, Drayden Watson, and Connor Parrish all coming in for Galena. And a 2-point contest right now with 3:02 remaining in the first. Talked about the dominant victory that Girard was able to pull off earlier in the season. Right now, not quite on pace.
And just a slow scoring from both of these teams, really. Something that we did not see in that first game of the season, of just that first game was back-and-back scoring, it seemed like, throughout all of it.
Buckingham got a quick takeaway, tries for the early floater, and now the transition back the other way leads to 2 points from the hands of Watson. Tie game. Newton, Brocob, and now Schultz. Stevens, far side wing. Brocob trying to work the underneath, and he drops in a bucket. Good to go for 2. Brocob has been a great player for this Girard team as of late, really kind of playing all around the floor, making himself big at times, but also being just as agile as a point guard.
And Blake was an amazing player on the football field, and that's just one of his things, is just he's a physical guy, and so just being able to get inside and get those tough buckets, that's just been the key aspect of his game so far. But I wouldn't put it past him. Wait a couple quarters and he'll start shooting the 3 also, and so that's just how he is he's able to play inside and around the perimeter.
Yeah, one word to describe Blake Brocob: athlete. Newton back up to Smith at the point, who checked in for Stevens. Brocob now taking it back to the paint.
That is easy as frying chicken from KFC. That is just, Blake is getting inside and getting the easy buckets so far, and that's what's really, it's not a huge lead, but that's the lead that the Trojans have grown based off of just his easy 6 points down low.
Foul called on the floor. Oh, and that goes against Jackson Smith, who I thought cleanly picked that ball. But I thought, if anything, Adrian Newton might have gotten called for that foul, being kind of on the back side of things and just a little overly physical, perhaps. I couldn't see if he was bumping up against him, but Jackson Smith credited with his first foul. Brocob gets the takeaway on the inbound, and Buckingham is fouled on the other side. So, once again, not really what I thought was overly physical, but
no,
hey,
but
both sides.
Goes both ways.
Can't complain.
So far, I mean, Blake's doing a little bit of everything in this game.
That was the first foul from Sway Dixon, as Buckingham, who has been very effective from the free throw line, misses on his first try. And he gets the second. Down the floor for Cottrell. He gives off to Watson. Cottrell now trying to drive. Kicks out Dixon. Inside of a minute. 15 on the shot clock. Cottrell, and control foul called against him.
I mean, we've said that Blake has been doing a little bit of everything, but I also want to give credit to Briggs so far in this first quarter of just, I mean, for his size, he's been great on the defensive side of things, and he's also been able to get opportunities at the rim on the offensive side of things.
Schultz, close side, over to Newton. Buckingham in deep territory as they work it over to Schultz. Schultz now at the point, looking to drive inside. A floater won't go. Rebounded by Galena. Inside of 20 seconds remaining as they work it to Watson. Watson trying to drive the base. It's a foul on the floor. This, I believe, will go against Harrison Burke. No, Buckingham.
And that will be the Trojans' fourth, so as long as they don't get another quick foul, shouldn't have to worry about the bonus for this first quarter at all, but
just 13 seconds.
Kind of seems like just unneeded fouls so far in the first quarter for the Trojans.
5 and counting as this one's tapped by Brocob. Slows the mojo. Dixon for a long three. Won't go, and it's rebounded by Girard at the buzzer. 9-4 is the score through the first quarter, as we will take a break and be right back after this on Girard Sports Live, presented by Crockham.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for more than 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Missing that human touch with your bank? Come talk to a real person at Community National Bank and Trust. We're your local bank that's small enough to know you, yet big enough to offer the best products. Community National Bank and Trust, federally insured, locally awesome. Member FDIC.
From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer and drain service. From repair and replacement to septic and grease trap pumping, Roto-Rooter is here for you. With video inspections, Roto-Rooter can identify the exact issue to get the repair done quickly and correctly. Complete sewer line repairs or replacements, Roto-Rooter has you covered. Serving Crawford, Bourbon, and Cherokee counties, Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630.
Back on for the second quarter of action here in Galena. If you missed the girls' game, final score of that contest was 52-32. Back in the win column for Girard's Lady Trojans. And now for the boys' game as they look to get in the win column themselves. Not a super lucrative first quarter. Only a 5-point lead right now, but doing enough.
And I mean, it is only a 5-point lead, but the boys have been good to just kind of facilitate this game, and it seems like Girard should be up by more than where they're at. It just, the boys are doing a good job of kind of controlling the pace of this game.
Possession time has definitely been in their favor. Giesel for three, off the back iron, won't go. Rebound is fought for as Brokop rolled out of bounds. And now we've got a foul called underneath. Cullen will have it go against him here. Once again, Brokop was kind of exemplifying his athleticism there on that break.
And he dove straight into the stands.
First one was good from Dixon. Second is no good, and it's rebounded by Galena. Giesel for the bonus three. Can't get it. It toilet bowls out, and this one rolls out of bounds. Girard ball.
I mean, so far in the second quarter, I think the big thing you want to focus on is just the scoring. And so far, the boys are playing good defense, just holding Galena to only 5 points throughout 2 quarters. But if you can get your scoring up and continue to get good looks down low, I mean, there's no reason that this boys team can't just open this game up.
And I'll tell you, you say get good looks down low. One thing that Galena has done well so far this game, and we see it right there, is they're not playing up trying to force turnovers, but they are shutting down the block and the base. It has been very difficult for Girard to work that ball inside, but the looks from the outside and mid-range have certainly been there. I'd like to see maybe a couple more of those be taken, but obviously in such a tight game, you don't want to get too ahead of yourself.
And I mean, if you're Coach Westcott and you really do see those just open looks of Galena kind of crashing the paint, why not have Briggs Buckingham, Perrin Stevens in the game where you just have your 3-point shooters that'll make it more than half of the time just available on the perimeter.
They work it to Cullen, and a foul underneath will be the first team foul for Galena with just under 6:30 to go. That's number 4, Chase Cottrell, his second. Speaking of Stevens, here's Smith driving on the left side and drops in a 2. A great movement of the ball there on offense as Cullen drew the attention and got it across the paint. Giesel, 6-point game. Giesel trying to drive and travel. Took one too many hops with the plant foot, and checking in will be Drayden Watson for Jet Giesel. Brokop, near side corner, as they work it all the way around to Smith. Cullen kicks out. Burke still working on the perimeter. The drive. Brokop gets called for a control foul. His first foul on the contest. 5:30 to go here in the second.
So far, the Trojans have gotten plenty of fouls, but I don't believe anyone's necessarily in foul trouble quite yet. It kind of seems like it's well distributed amongst everyone.
Another takeaway here for the Trojans. Cullen over to Stevens. Brokop, Smith, underhand to Cullen, and no dice on that try. Another beautiful work there on the offensive possession, getting that ball to the paints, and just nothing to show of it once again. It's a long 2 possessions for Galena. difference right now in this game. They give it to Cottrell, who takes a three. Hard off the rim. Collision. And now down the floor for the Trojans. Swatted, but called for a foul. That was Connor Parrish. Oh no, excuse me. Evan Wittenmeyer called for the foul there. First one is in for Cohen. I think I've talked about it on the broadcast, but how much of a bonus it is to have a big man down low that can also shoot free throws.
Yeah, and I mean, Ben is one of the tallest players on our team, with him, I think, only having Adrian Newton being the tallest. And so just Ben's ability to get down low, and especially his mid-range shooting is the big thing. And those free throws, like you were talking about, of just those have become a big part of his game. And he doesn't necessarily pride himself with a three-point shot, but if it's inside of that three-point line, Ben is always going to have a chance to make it.
Working it with Isaiah Farfan, and now Dixon. Farfan back around to Cottrell, and now Dixon on the near side wing. They find Farfan underneath, and he drops in a two. First points of the quarter come well over halfway into the quarter as Buckingham, near side corner, no dice. There's a wide open look. That's one that most times will probably fall for
that's
Briggs.
A rare miss of Briggs being wide open in the corner. But does look like the trio of bench players all are out on the court, and so it's always interesting to see the different dynamic the team has whenever you have your, I mean, you could almost say a taller, it's a weird archetype of just a lineup of just, you could say your taller, more shot, three-point selection type lineup whenever you have your bench players in, but then with those starters, it just kind of seems so well-rounded amongst everyone on the court.
Brocobb tried to square up for a screen there, and getting the pass off in time was Drayden Watson. Now Farfan trying to drive, gets to the paint, checks up for two. 4-point game now as the scoring stays slim. Up to Stevens. Schultz over to Brocobb. Keeping it on the outside as Buckingham finds himself near side wing. In for three.
Briggs was just getting back that wide open shot that he had been off on.
And I think the Galena defense knew he wanted it too, because as soon as he got the ball, they went straight for him, and he just got that shot off super quick. Very impressive three from Buckingham as Watson, a nice move inside, keeps the tempo up. Here's Buckingham, another one. Even the defender Wittenmeyer kind of lifts his hands like, what do you do?
I mean, hands in his face, it's not an easy shot. I mean, Briggs just makes it look easy.
Now, heat check coming up for Buckingham on his next shot as he's on back-to-back threes right now. And now he's going to take it down the floor. Over to Newton. Buckingham, another try, can't get it to go. Newton reels in the rebound and kicks out. And now Stevens will get fouled near the perimeter on the near side. 56 seconds to go here in the second.
Looks like two new substitutions with, it's like Harrison and Jackson will come in, and both Adrian and Breyer will take a seat.
And just looking at body language here, stepping out was Wittenmeyer, and you could really see the frustration on Evan Wittenmeyer's face of the Bulldogs. He is frustrated with the foul call as well as just kind of what's going on the floor.
Yep, and I mean, it's gone both ways tonight, so there can always be some frustration with refs.
Smith, his shot was poked out of his hands. Down the floor, and a charge. There we go, that's the one.
There it is. I mean, it happens once a game, at least.
Harrison Burke draws the charge. Second foul called against Dixon.
And I mean, since the Trojans had 3 fouls kind of quick in the second, Galena had 5 in a row since then, just racking up the fouls.
Brocob to Smith, over to Buckingham as he will dribble up to the logo. 10 seconds on the shot clock, 14 on the game. Stevens over to Buckingham from the near side wing, off the front rim. 5 seconds and counting as they try to work down the floor. That one's taken away. Buckingham with a great tipped ball in a disadvantage situation, 2-on-1, and keeps the points off the board.
Just great defense.
Right at half. 19-11 is the score. We'll take it into the halftime right after this short word from our sponsors on Girard Sports Live.
Since 1918, GN Bank has been the heart of our community. Big enough to meet all your banking needs, but small enough to offer that personal touch you deserve. From agricultural loans to home mortgages, GN Bank has the expertise, products, and service to help you thrive. With a pledge to treat others ethically, be adaptable, focus on customers, and invest in the communities they serve, GN Bank is committed to your success. The best place to bank and borrow, GN Bank, where community banking truly comes first. Equal housing lender, member FD.
You've heard go big or go home. At Big Iron Auctions, you can go big from home. With thousands of pieces of equipment, active auctions, bidding at your convenience, and an easy-to-use site, BigIronAuctions.com can help you grow big. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 to see how Big Iron Auctions can help grow your operation. Bid now, list now at BigIronAuctions.com.
Welcome to Homestead of Girard, assisted and independent living right here in our hometown. At Homestead, seniors enjoy compassionate care in a community designed for comfort. Licensed professionals provide support with daily activities, dressing, bathing, and medication management. Residents enjoy home-cooked meals and the comfort of their own private apartment. Call 620-724-6760 to schedule your tour today. Homestead of Girard, senior living with compassion, comfort, and community.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Hi, do you offer insurance bundling?
Enter authentication code to start transaction.
Where would I get the code?
Please enter code.
Okay. Sometimes humans are just more helpful.
Wrong.
Let's talk about bundling and see if there are other ways for you to save with a super check.
That sounds great.
Here, take a look.
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Call Judd, Lori, Ginny, or Amber in Girard today.
Back on Girard Sports Live for the halftime show presented by GN Bank. GN Bank, where they've been providing customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way for over 100 years. Personal, business, or agricultural needs, turn to GN Bank. Learn more at gn-bank.com. And as we look back at the first half, Kennar Eye Care is here to make sure you can see what you're looking at. Kennar Eye Care, with locations in Pittsburgh and Girard, is here to help their valued customers. Looking at this first half, it has been certainly a weird one, as both teams just really trying to find their groove offensively, but both also looking very sound on defense. Right now, Girard having some troubles working the ball inside, and Galena just having troubles finding the bottom of the bucket. That's been pretty much what brought us to this 19-11 score, an 8 points lead for Girard as it stands going into the second half of play. And right now, I mean, just kind of looking at who's kind of the outstanding player. Well, I feel like Buckingham with 2 3-pointers made. That's nearly a third of the points so far on the floor, and it's definitely something that we were talking about rolling into that second quarter, which was that Girard has had some trouble working the ball inside, and that Galena has really been crashing the boards and crashing the paint to keep from letting up any easy buckets. So it's been nice to see Buckingham find his stride. I'd like to see Stevens be able to work the interior as well as the exterior and kind of find his groove as this third quarter boots up and we start to discover some of the sharpshooters. Brocobb has been known to take some shots from range as well, and we saw him take one from the corner. Unfortunately, didn't fall. But all of the starters and the 3 guys coming off the bench, Schultz, Buckingham, and Newton, have all played pretty well equal. I mean, it hasn't been something where you sub a couple guys in and then things start to falter, or really on either side either. Both teams just, I mean, every face almost looks exactly the same for both of these teams. You sub guys in, it's really just for stamina. You're just trying to save stamina. Everybody's playing about equal as their substitution counterpart. But Caleb, as we get set for this second half, you got any stats for us for this first half of play?
Looking at some of these stats, it looks like our leading scorer so far is Briggs Buckingham, followed by Blake with 6. Briggs has 7. And Jackson has 4. So on my part, that does not fully add up. I'm missing a 2, but that's at least part of it.
Well, they've got stats here on the scoreboard, so we'll see if we can kind of solidify those coming down the stretch here in the second half as the Girard boys take the floor once again. But those stats are brought to you by, the stats are brought to you by B&B Excavating. The numbers don't lie, dirt is heavy, so trust the guys at B&B Excavating to move what needs moving. Specializing in septic systems, waterline install and repair, driveways, rock hauling, and leveling. B&B Excavating, call 620-724-2735. And right now, like you said, Buckingham, I do believe, is the leading scorer. I said he had 6, but I forgot about the free throw that he made earlier as well. So it's been a very interesting game. looking to see if Girard can just kind of find the cracks in the paint there at the baseline on offense, as well as just, if that's not the case, really just get things going from the perimeter.
And I mean, so far, if Girard just continues with what they're doing, you'll win the game. I mean, you're up by 8 points, almost a double-digit lead, and so it's just keeping in front of this Galena team, especially going into this third quarter that we've talked about before, not really being too kind to the Trojans in the past, of just kind of getting a slow start for the second half. And so the big thing tonight is just you can't let that happen. You can't let this Galena team cut into your 8-point lead. You got to keep up and even try to grow this lead in the third to kind of ease your way through the fourth for the rest of this game.
I would say if the Trojans are able to put together 11 points in this quarter, and I know that actually is kind of a lot. Oh, excuse me. That is kind of a lot when you're just kind of speaking on 8 minutes and two good defenses playing each other. But I feel like if you get yourself up to 30 points or even up to 29 at this rate, you're going to be hanging on to that lead into the fourth. Now, the question is, with Girard entering the fourth and not being down, does that change the mentality a little bit? I'm kind of interested to see if any of that changes. But I think, like you've said, Caleb, Girard's been playing really well tonight. If they continue to do what they're doing, there's no reason they shouldn't take home the W.
And I mean, that's just the thing. I mean, if you continue what you're doing, this team will be perfectly all right.
Well, just about a minute out of the second half, and an 8-point game as it stands, with both teams finishing up their warm-ups. Girard kind of standing in that huddle as Galena gets their final shots in. But one of the things I talked about, Caleb, during the halftime show was about how both of these teams really, it doesn't matter who's on the floor, they're both playing the level and style of basketball that their starters have been playing.
And I mean, that's exactly correct. Our leading scorer tonight is Briggs, and he comes off the bench. So just any of these guys on the floor could be a starter. And with Girard, we've seen it before that every single player that we've had play so far in this game has been a starter at some point in this season. And so whether it be Adrian starting off the year as a starter and moving to the bench where he was really able to be utilized more, to just this last couple of games where you had Briggs coming in. I mean, it's just any one of these Girard guys can play at any time in this game.
Yeah, and then for Galena, I mean, just the recipe for them has been locking down the underneath defensively, and it doesn't matter who they have on the floor, that has worked for them. So for Girard, just trying, like I said, trying to find the cracks, and then as well as working the perimeter, I think is going to be the solution. Burke gets an early shot off here. Now fighting for the ball as we've got a foul called underneath. That's going to go against Jack Giesel. Not even 30 seconds in, and Galena collects their first team foul, second personal for Giesel. Burke at the point, hands it off to Smith as he directs traffic. Not a bunch of movement there, but setting up the offense here. Now Stevens.
About 12 seconds on the shot clock.
Burke to Smith. Smith, the kick out over to Cullen. Finds Brocobb, mid-range two, off the glass, and trickles in for two.
That shot has been there all night for Blake.
Just another pair of points there for Brocobb. Now Burke, he gets it swiped away, out of bounds, off of the steal. So even though didn't get the points off the turnover, Girard maintains possession here on their side of the floor with a bit of a bonus.
Looks like Harrison, there it is. I was expecting him to honestly take that three, but
a nice
great pass inside.
Yeah, nice look inside to Jackson Smith. Bumps it up 23-11. Already kind of ahead of pace right now for the Trojans. Another poke by Burke. This one will go out of bounds. Last touched by Harrison as Galena maintains possession, but he is all over the place right now.
I mean, that was almost Harrison's third steal of the game, and that's not something we've really seen from him. So, I mean, going forward, if Harrison feels like stealing the ball more often, that'd be great.
Cullen nearly gathers one there as Farfin goes around the wheel. Can't get it. Back the other way with Girard. Burke now trying to drive the base. His pass taken away, and I believe this is going to be a foul called. Burke.
That will be Harrison's second. But, I mean, looking at the scoring column, there are those mysterious 2 points that I am not sure of who scored them, but from what I have, there's only been 3 players to score in the game so far for the Trojans.
Well, looks like Smith with 6.
Oh,
Cullen,
I found it.
Cullen with 2.
Those are those 2 points.
Farfin moves it over to Cottrell. Cottrell drives down the right side, kicks out at the buzzer, and that's a shot clock violation against Galena.
And I mean, so far in this second half, Galena's scoring has been just completely missing, and so the Trojans have been able to just grow this lead, like how you said, of just, if they could grow it by 10, that's going to be a big thing that really just lets them solidify it in the fourth quarter.
2 good-looking shots. We saw the Burke 3 there, neither of which ended up falling. Out of bounds on Cullen on the Galena side. 28 seconds to go on the shot clock as we are just outside of 5 minutes here in the third. Inbound from Giesel is intercepted. That was Perrin Stevens off the glass from Brocobb, and he will be fouled.
I mean, Perrin, Harrison, it just, we had talked about how anyone on this court kind of seems like they can be a starter. It seems like anyone on this court can get a steal. I mean, it's just, everyone tonight is just hustling around and going after the ball.
Yeah, we even saw Cullen nearly collect one there on the Galena side with a loose ball, but really I think it's more so against Galena right now. They've got to take care of the ball here in the second half. They have just been a little bit careless, and now with Girard pulling away, 14-point lead that was once 8. You start to feel like morale is just going down, maybe not rapidly, but continuously.
And I mean, so far, just nothing seems to be working for Galena on the offensive side of things, and even on the defensive side of things, the Trojans have gotten amazing looks so far, and there's what we're talking about, just the carelessness with the ball.
Schultz was the one to collect that steal, tries to drive inside. We got a jump ball. That keeps it on the Girard side. Inbound from Schultz. Deep pass to Stevens, and now they'll set up. Stevens knives his way inside. Gets his own rebound. The backhand one. Perrin Stevens playing his heart out underneath the basket. And it pays off here. We'll see if he can get the three-point play.
I mean, he definitely deserves it.
Substitution as Cottrell comes back in the game, I believe for Dixon of the Bulldogs, and Stevens gets the extra. 17-point lead. And right now, looking nearly opposite of what we kind of said during the halftime show, which was the third quarter being the nemesis of Girard. Right now, it's the nemesis of Galena.
And I don't think we've seen that this year, where Girard's really been the team to just dominate in this third quarter, where they're the ones leading everything. I don't think, has Galena scored in this third? I mean, it's just about halfway through this third, and Galena hasn't been able to do anything offensively.
Newton cashes in for 3. Adds a little bit of salt in that wound. Up to a 20-point lead now. And we've got a timeout from the Bulldogs. Let's see. Full timeout, so we will take a break here on Girard Sports Live. We'll be right back after this.
Hold on. It's monstrous.
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
.31 is the score. 20-point game as it sits, with just under 4 to play here in the third. Inbound worked to Cottrell as he will take it to set up the offense for Galena, who has been silent here in the third. And now looking to break that silence as they work it inside. Oh my goodness.
I mean, just missed shot after missed shot, and these are easy opportunities for the Bulldogs.
That one looked like a gimme there for Galena. Just unable to capitalize as Stevens hits the deck. That ball in and out on the 3. Now Girard sets up the offense, slowing things down just for a minute.
Briggs is thinking about it.
And he fires. Rebound is into the hands of Wittenmeyer. A collision between him and Newton. Draws a foul. So Newton will get another one on the stat sheet here.
I believe that's only his first, yeah.
Second team foul, 3 for Galena. So nobody in immediate trouble of bonus or foul trouble at that. Been a fairly clean game. Cottrell over to Giesel. Now inside and back out. Giesel, Cottrell for 3, can't get it. Rebound Schultz. Schultz over to Brokob. Brokob Euro steps around the defender, and a clean make there from Blake Brokob. What a move.
Incredible bucket.
That's not easy to do. But man, he made it look easy. Giesel firing from 3 again and breaks the silence.
I mean, that is the first points for Galena with 2 minutes left in this third quarter. So a 6-minute scoring drought is incredible if you're the Trojans.
Schultz gets fouled from the mid-range. Schultz is first. Good to go. Keeps it at 20 points. 2 minutes even to go here in the third. And that was actually the 4th foul on Sway Dixon, so keeping an eye on that as he is in trouble, and now Newton gets called for his 2nd.
And I mean, so far, even with that foul on Adrian, the bench players in this third quarter especially have really been helping out, and they've had some incredible minutes. I mean, Briggs really was the one that grew this lead to even begin with.
Here's a three. Dixon gets it to fall from the points. 17-34. Work it over to Buckingham, and now Burke. Buckingham looking to drive. Gives it back over to Schultz. Brokob. Schultz. Now resetting with 10 on the shot clock. Burke, his pass across the court. Buckingham takes a floater and is fouled on his way inside.
Before Briggs cut inside, he was calling for it on the perimeter, and he was right in that spot that I was expecting. Just another three. I mean, he was standing where Augie Mooneyham had stood for all of her made threes in the girls' game.
Connor Parrish given his first foul of the contest, as Buckingham knocks down the first. Now for the second, clean as well. Girard answering pretty well right now to Galena's select points. Here's another three. That's all they've made this quarter. Foul called against Jackson Smith. It'll be his second.
So with the Bulldogs already being in the bonus, Girard is one away from letting them also shoot those free throws.
Well, I believe they actually will be in bonus, technically, because that'll put them at 5. Farfan takes the two and drains it. First two made in this quarter with 40 to go.
I mean, if you're Girard, you've limited the Bulldogs to 8 points, and I mean, that sounds like a lot, but you've been able to score almost, I think,
growing from 19 to 36. It's been 17 points so far. And tack on an extra 2. Make it 19. Doubling your first half score. Dixon fires from long. Can't go. Newton gets the rebound and doesn't get the shot off in time. 38-19 is the score as we head into the fourth quarter. 8 minutes to play here in Galena as the Trojans stare down the barrel of sweeping the Bulldogs. We'll be right back after this.
Farmers Bank is a proud supporter of Girard schools. For generations, Farmers Bank has worked with local leaders, businesses, and residents to help shape the future of Southeast Kansas. Farmers Bank is proud to have helped with the growth and development of the communities we serve. As partners in business and friends in life, Farmers Bank is looking forward to a brighter tomorrow. Farmers Bank, with locations in Hepler, Walnut, St. Paul, and Girard. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Chicken Annie's Girard. When you're facing a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Catering and carry out from Chicken Annie's Girard. When an onion ring craving is too much to bear, when the family's coming over and you weren't aware, it's Chicken Annie's Girard to the rescue. When there's 20, 30, 100 to feed, you need Chicken Annie's Girard indeed. A heroic value, superb flavor. When there's a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Chicken Annie's Girard.
Double the score for Galena, and that'll give you Girard here tonight. 19-38. A 19-point difference as it stands. Dixon fires from 3, trying to accelerate this Galena squad as Brokob gathers the rebound. Back the other way for the Trojans. Cullen kicks out. Buckingham wide open, and it spins out. Westcott was saying, get back, as Stevens and Brokaw were toying around trying to apply some pressure there on the opposite side of the floor. Good call by Westcott, though, because you want to try and extend these possessions. You don't want to give them any quick points and let them work their way back into this game.
And I mean, if you're the Trojans here, you're not necessarily too worried about just necessarily growing your lead, just maintaining it and making sure that you can finish out this game with your team being the one that comes out on top.
A minute in, drought here between these two. Smith drives inside and on top of all the defenders, gets a 2 to go. First points go to Girard. Makes it over a 20-point lead here in the fourth. Cottrell searching for a receiver, and now they work it over to Dixon. Back over to Giesel. Dixon. Here's Farfin for 3 off the side of the backboard. Won't go, and now it's the other direction. Girard pushing the tempo as Smith kicks out. Buckingham over Stevens. He's finding his groove. Timeout called on the floor by the Bulldogs. Perrin Stevens grows it to a 24-point lead as we will take a break here just for a moment and step aside on Girard Sports Live.
You've enjoyed life. Over the years, your community has become your passion, something you hope future generations get to experience, just as you have. That's why the Girard Area Community Foundation has worked hard to help fulfill charitable goals and inspire generosity, meeting the needs of the communities they serve. Creating a legacy fund with GACF ensures what you leave behind is an effective and lasting improvement in the community you love so dearly. Make plans to visit GirardAreaFoundation.com, preserving traditions for those who follow.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring...
Back on Girard Sports Live, a 24-point game as it stands. 6:02 remaining here in the fourth. Right now, Galena had 11 through the first half, put up 8 in the third quarter. It was their highest scoring quarter so far. Been a rough patch here for the Bulldogs. Currently sitting at a 2-8 record. Facing off against a team who kind of laid the hammer down earlier on this season. Swing the ball over. Driving is Wittenmeyer, and he can't get it to go. Burke, they work it over. Buckingham to Smith for 3. Can't go, it's hard off the rim. Stevens couldn't quite gather the rebound. It was out of bounds. Galena ball on their side, or on the opposite side of the floor, as Briar Schultz checks in for Briggs Buckingham. So right now, Cullen, Buckingham, and Newton all take a seat on the bench. Here's a 3 from Wittenmeyer. Short, rebounded by Smith, and out of bounds on Smith is what they'll call, and he is in disbelief. Inbound gets to Watson, and now they're working with a number that I don't have listed on here. Actually, it looks like Bryson Lake, usually a junior varsity player, as Giesel tries his luck for a 3, can't get it. Still scoreless here in the fourth for Galena. Smith gets called for a travel.
Jackson just can't believe it.
He's just distraught. He's like, man, I can't
have
get
anything.
They work it over. 3 ball is in off the glass. With a timeout called. That was Gannon Scarrow getting his first points up there on the board, as it will be a full timeout. So we'll take a moment to talk about our timeout sponsor here on Girard Sports Live. Salon 214, now open at 107 North Ozark in Girard. Take a timeout to pamper yourself with Vanessa and her team at Salon 214. And take a timeout to check out Salon 214 on Facebook as well. 21-point lead for Girard, as that has kind of been the recipe since half. Galena finally puts their first points on the board since halftime with a 3 from Scarrow. But I believe this one is, pending a miracle, going to end up with Girard.
And I agree with you. I mean, Galena had I think they had 8 points in the third quarter and then a 3 now, and I'm not sure if they scored at all in the fourth, but just a slow half for Galena, and so it's really allowed Girard to hop out and grow this lead and maintain a 20-point lead after only leading by about 4 going into that second quarter.
Well, they have about 8 scoreless minutes, or no, about 10 scoreless minutes between both the third and the fourth quarter after making that 3 from Scarrow. But you just can't have, I mean, with only 16 minutes to play, you can't have that many go unscored. I mean, it's just never going to be enough. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Schultz knocks down a 3 himself. And a double dribble. Oh my goodness.
I mean, fun statistic for anybody who's paying attention at home. Every single bench player has had a 3 now in the game. So 3-point shooting bench so far against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Newton had that one in the corner. Of course, Buckingham has found one this game. I mean, that's pretty inevitable. And then there was Schultz on the far side wing. Smith over to Brocobb. He's going to try his luck. Can't get it. Rebound is into the hands of Newton, who drops in another 2. Grows the lead to 26. And this Galena team is just having trouble buying any kind of success defensively and offensively. It has just been a tough night for them overall. Another missed 3 there from Lake. And now Schultz again with a chance.
And there it is.
Briar Schultz tacks on another.
Briar's proven that Briggs isn't the only 3-point shooter off the bench.
And this one is poked out, but a foul called, as that will go against Blake Brocobb, his second.
I mean, we've talked that Briar Schultz, it seems like he can do whatever the team needs at any given night, and apparently tonight that is just 3-point shooting. So, I mean, it's always interesting to see what Briar's going to do in a game.
First one is in the buckets for the free throws from Parrish. There was a bit of a discussion between Brocobb and the official. I think he's making his case that it wasn't a foul, and then I think he was also making a case that it wasn't a shooting foul. I think even Sutton Gordon thought it wasn't a shooting foul because he was coming out and ready to get on the floor, but he actually checks in for Brocobb, which kind of ruins your statistic there, Caleb, of your 3-pointers off the bench.
I guess it does.
We'll just have to let Gordon get one for himself.
There's always a chance. But
as Galena will fire, no good. Off of the hands of Kenyon Washam.
It does look like another substitution of bench players will be coming in, so I think that statistic might just go away.
Oh, I thought it was going to be
it was
revived there. Gordon tried for a 3, miss. Washam can't get the 2. And now as we dip into 90 seconds, Burke takes the ball down into the corner. He'll move it back around the perimeter. Gordon over to Burke. Burke now gonna drive, put up a mid-range 2. No dice. Schultz, the putback. No good there. And Burke gets the 3rd opportunity to fall finally.
And surprisingly, with Harrison being such an efficient scorer, those are his first points of the contest.
Yeah, he's had a couple of opportunities underneath from the perimeter. Just none of them have been able to get through the rim, but we've got pretty much a clean slate here of guys on the floor for Girard. Other than Adrian Newton, all fresh faces, as we'll get to that in a minute. Dixon drops in a 2. Looking across the court right now, Sutton Gordon, Adrian Newton, joined by Brody Brunk, as well as Quentin Bruning and Ryder Lehman. Gordon with 10 on the shot clock, and actually less than that, 5. Here, as Gordon's gonna chuck up a 3 off the rim, and rebounded by Dixon. 18 seconds left as they press the narrative down the floor. Out to Scarrow, and a double dribble called, as that will be pretty much it. 29-point difference tonight here in Galena. 2 big gaps in scoring between the girls and the boys, but yet another dominant victory for this boys Trojans team over the Bulldogs. Great night for Girard. As we will send this pretty much straight into the post-game show. Post-game show is brought to you by Eastside Cafe. Experience the best breakfast in town 6 days a week at 120 South Ozark Street in Girard. Eastside Cafe, a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics. And Caleb, do you have an idea as to who you believe to be the player of the game?
I feel like I say it every single game, but it's difficult. I mean, we had a lot of even scoring, and there's 3 people I'm thinking of either Blake Brocobb, Briggs Buckingham, or Adrian Newton. Or even Briar Schultz. I mean, just the bench guys coming off, and the bench, looking at it, it looks like off the bench, I mean, 24 points just from those 3 players. And so just that's where a lot of our scoring came from. But then again, Blake Brocobb had 14 tonight, and so and his defense, and just at that first half, we had talked about how Blake was kind of all over the place, just playing wherever they needed him. So I'd either give it to the bench or I'd give it to Blake.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Brocobb probably deserves it as, and this is no discredit to Schultz's three-pointers and Newton's three-pointer, but the buckets that Brocobb made there at the beginning of the second half were very much the separators to really grow that lead to a point where you felt comfortable in Girard taking down this victory going into the fourth quarter. Newton's 3 and Schultz's 3 were there kind of towards the end of the game, so they were, that lead had already been established. They were certainly a nice little salt in the wound there for Galena to really just kind of put the nail in the coffin, but I feel like those buckets were certainly more essential from Brocobb, and of course Buckingham. He had a great game tonight as well. But I'm gonna put my vote towards Blake Brocobb for tonight, as he really showed off his athleticism, moving around the floor, getting a couple of steals, rebounds, and of course points as well.
I mean, sounds good to me.
Well, that player of the game is brought to you by tonight's Girard Booster Club game day sponsor, which just so happens to be Producers Co-op Association. For more than 75 years, PCA has proudly served Southeast Kansas and Southwest Missouri as a full-service, member-owned agricultural cooperative right here in Girard. PCA is a proud supporter of local families, schools, and community events, investing in the neighbors they serve every day. Visit PCA at any one of our locations, including Girard, Fort Scott, Liberal, and Moundville. So with that, we'll go ahead and talk about the shot of the game, which is brought to you by Bradshaw Collision and Repair. Bob Bradshaw offers refinishing, paintless dent repair, glass replacement, and more. Let Bradshaw Collision Repair get you back in the game. Call 620-724-7300 to get you back in the game for Bradshaw Collision Repair. Caleb, any ideas there for shot of the game?
I mean, I just keep thinking about I just think of two players, really. I'm thinking about all the shots down low that Blake had that was just crucial to get this game going, and then those back-to-back threes that Briggs had really just opened up the game. So,
yeah, I mean, I feel like we get really redundant, but honestly, I mean, Buckingham has been really just that igniter for this team, a bit of a sparkler there, as he has just started the fire in a lot of these games that Girard comes out victorious in. They just knocking down a couple of threes to get the scoring going again, or whether that's in the second half or whether that's at the very beginning of the game. He's been a great supporter and nice, I mean, just well-timed scorer as well. So I'd agree with you. Buckingham probably deserving of that shot of the game for tonight's contest, but really just outstanding performances from both the girls and the boys teams tonight, getting themselves back into the win column, getting the feel of their normal style of play back. You know, playing against a bunch of ranked opponents, you can start to feel like you're doing too much, and they certainly brought it back in to show what they're worth.
And I believe this was the boys' this was a big win for the guys. Just looking at our past schedule, the boys had a 5-game losing streak since halfway through January, and so just an incredible win to get right back in the right column of just continuing and hopefully just continuing to get these wins that the boys will need to try to get just a better ranking whenever we get to that postseason play.
Well, we've got Coach Westcott coming up here in just a minute, so we'll talk about the post-game coaches interview, which is brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust, serving the area for 30 years. Stopping soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard schools. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. But I certainly agree with you there, Caleb. It was since the Riverton game that this team has felt success. So it's been about half a month, and now kind of getting back into the flow of things here in February. You hope that this month, or at least this week, kind of carries that mojo on, and going against Labette County as well as Anderson. It's going to be an interesting road here for the Trojans. So looking forward to those contests coming up as Westcott makes his way up here. So we will sign off for Caleb momentarily and then get Coach in here in the booth.
Sorry.
All good, Coach. We're here on the post-game coaches interview with head coach Westcott of the boys team. Coach, once again, I want to congratulate you on the victory tonight. Is there anything that you saw out there that really just kind of carried this game into the mojo that you guys finished it with?
You know, I've been saying this. We've had a rough stretch here. We really have. But our kids continue to play hard. We haven't got our heads down. And as long as we're playing hard, you know, we're giving ourselves a chance every night. You know, defensively tonight, we locked them down. I don't know what they ended up with, 20-some points. But I think we give up 4 there in the first quarter. So anytime that you can play defense like that, you're going to have a good opportunity of coming out on top. But good win for kids. I thought we shared the ball well on offense. Got it moving, got it clicking. Didn't try to do too much, which we have done at times. But thought the kids played well tonight. Did some good things. And, you know, it's a short turnaround. We get a day off, and then we got back-to-back Thursday and Friday. So we got to get our legs under us tomorrow and get ready for 2 games tomorrow night.
In a week like this where you have 3 contests, a pretty condensed week, how important is it to really kick this off with a W and get yourself back into the win column?
Yeah, I mean, we in the end game, that's, you know, you want to get the W all the time. That's obviously what you're trying to do. But we've just got to continue to try to get better and make sure that we're doing the little things right. And, you know, I feel like we're doing some good things. We're maturing a little bit as the season's progressed. We've still got a long ways to go, but I like where we're at right now. We just got to keep plugging along, and you know, we're going to see a team Thursday night that got after us pretty good up at Burlington. We were right there with them. They got after us pretty good, and then you know, we battled back, but then they ended up finishing us off there. So we know each other pretty well. Shouldn't be a lot of surprises come Thursday, but anxious to get back out on the court and make the trip to Altamont. We haven't played over there for several years, so it's a cool gym. Hopefully it's a good environment, and you guys come out and see us.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But last question here, as in the first half, it looked like Galena really had that paint boxed up on defense. Is there something that you changed up there, I think about midway through the second quarter, that really kind of ignited the underneath work of the offense?
Well, I think we hit a shot.
Yeah.
we hit a shot. When the ball goes in the hole, it makes this game a lot easier, and we got some to fall tonight, so that's always a positive. We've got some kids that can shoot the ball, and we've been on a little streak here where we haven't shot it real well. Some of that's due to the teams that we've been playing. They've been getting out and pressuring pretty well, but you know, we come out and keep playing and keep getting better, then hopefully good things will happen here at the end of the season.
Well, Coach, looking forward to finishing out this week with you guys on Girard Sports Live, and, of course, hoping that you guys have success throughout the rest of this season. Thank you again for taking time to come up and do this interview with us after every game. It's greatly appreciated.
You bet, guys. Appreciate you. You guys take care and be safe getting home.
All right. Well, that will pretty much do it for us here on Girard Sports Live. Here after the interview with Coach Westcott, we'll go ahead and sign it off for me, Caleb, and Sarah, and the rest of the Varsity Sports production crew. We say good night, and we hope to see you all next time on Girard Sports Live, presented by Crocan.
for watching. From the gridiron to the hardcourt, the pitch to the mat, don't miss any of the action. We're there with live, local sports coverage at VarsitySportsLive.com.